Welcome to Doncast Deep Dive.
And we are incredibly excited to bring you the latest in our custom series, Doncast Deep Dives, Albums for the Ages.
That's right. For those of you just joining us, this series is a really personal journey through the records that have fundamentally shaped and inspired Don Phondeaux.
Yeah, he's this amazing creative force, blending music, storytelling, all of it. And these deep dives, they're not just reviews.
No, not at all. They're explorations of growth, of nostalgia, and how music just holds its power and finds new meaning at different points in our lives.
Exactly. Don Phondeaux is revisiting these records that, that really live with him. He's looking at what they taught him back then and what they're telling him now.
And for episode 7, we are focusing on a really pivotal album in modern music. It's Burna Boy's 2018 album, Outside.
A huge one.
So our mission today is to really get into Don Phondeaux's notes on this album. We're not just listening to the tracks, we're trying to unpack exactly why he calls it both anthem and autobiography.
Right. How did Burna Boy create something that works for the biggest parties, but is also about this deeply solitary journey?
That's the question.
So when Don Phondeaux reflects on Outside, he immediately frames it as this rhythmic but deeply reflective look at the hustler's journey.
The hustler's journey.
The snapshot, capturing that tension between chasing fame, dealing with being alone, and just survival.
And what really stands out in his notes is this duality you mentioned. He talks about how the music blurs the lines between being, pure dance music
Something kinetic.
and a tool for reflection. He even points out this mix of aggression and almost serenity. How does he see that working?
Well, he sees it in the very structure of Afrofusion. The beats just pull you in, they make you move. That's the anthem part. But the lyrics, the way they're delivered, they're layered with these personal thoughts that almost make you pause.
Yeah.
He calls it a masterclass in making a collective street sound feel like a personal journal entry.
And the title, Outside, that's playing a dual role too, isn't it? It's not just a place.
No, not at all. For him, it's both literal and metaphorical. Literally, it's about living your life out loud on the streets, but metaphorically.
It's about standing apart.
Exactly. Learning what it means to be outside the crowd, to set your own pace and deal with everything that comes with that.
This is where it gets really compelling for me, the timing of his revisit. Don Phondeaux mentioned he went back to Outside after this long period of self-imposed isolation.
Right. He wrote that he was learning how to be satisfied with nothing, really stripping away all the noise. And he found this deep comfort in sound.
Not as an escape, though.
No, that's the key.
Yeah.
He used music as an anchor to stay present.
So coming back to this album, it wasn't just for old time's sake. It was preparation. He felt it was timely because he was getting his spirit ready to step back into the world.
Thinking about what life beyond four walls requires. And he said, the music's been on his playlist for years, but this time sitting down and listening to it all the way through, it really solidified his thoughts.
And what was the conclusion?
That this album captures Burna Boy at his most confident and contemplative. For Don Phondeaux, it serves this vital dual function. It's music for motion and meditation. It gets you moving, but it also demands you think.
Okay, let's unpack that evolution, because this contrast between his first listen and now, that's the real aha moment here. So he first connected with Outside as a student.
Yeah, navigating university life, always on the move. His love for Afrofusion was just exploding.
And he was listening for what?
The vibe, purely the vibe. It was the score to his life. He says Ye was one of the first tracks that really, grabbed him. He loved its rhythm, that theme of resilience.
He said it turned motivation into melody.
That's it. It took that internal drive and made it something you could actually move to.
And his lifestyle back then? He describes it as living almost entirely outside.
I love that phrase. On the streets, with his friends, the life of every social vibe. He was always connecting with people. And this album was just the energy source for it all.
He even said, I was one of the ones bending the night around the music.
Yeah. Outside was the definition of the party, the shared soundtrack.
So if we jump from that to now, it's a huge shift. Today, he's not just listening for the bounce.
No. Now he's actively studying it. He's listening for the bars, the lyrics, the flows, the cadences. He's moved past the collective joy and is hearing the realities behind the rhythm.
Moving from a soundtrack to a blueprint, what does he mean by that?
He now sees the album as, and I'm quoting here, slices of Burna's own journey through the jungle of life, a collection of introspections disguised as grooves.
Wow.
So it's not just the noise of the world anymore, it's the map for how to navigate it. He's looking for advice in the songs, not just energy.
Are there specific tracks he points to, the ones that really show this change in him?
Absolutely. He says the title track Outside and Devil in California, they just hit differently now.
Oh.
Well, as a student, they were just great tracks in the mix. But now they show the cost of the hustle. They celebrate the grind, yeah, but they also expose the toll it takes, the loneliness. For him, the lyrics now feel like blueprints for resilience.
That deep dive into the lyrics brings us perfectly to his track analysis. He sort of grouped his thoughts thematically, which gives a great structure to the album story. He starts with grounding, right? Affirmation and home.
He does. And it starts right with the opener, More Life. He calls it a reflective opener, says it feels like a morning affirmation.
It's smooth but honest.
Brutally honest. It acknowledges the weight you have to carry before you get the wins. It sets the stage immediately. This journey is work.
And after that personal affirmation, he goes straight to a geographical one with city vibration.
Which is so key to Burna Boy. Don Phondeaux calls this a vibrant ode to PH City, to Port Harcourt. It's a love letter. The bounce in the production, the pride in his voice, it roots the whole album. The hustle becomes personal, not just abstract.
Okay, so from that foundation, the energy starts to build. We get into the assertion and intensity needed for that life. This is where the anthem side kicks in.
And that's exactly where he places Heaven's Gate. He calls it energetic and assertive. Just a straight-up demonstration of power.
A warning.
A clear warning, not the one to cross. But what's interesting is he doesn't see it as just anger. He calls it chaotic and thrilling, a soundtrack for the jungle hustle. It's survival energy.
That makes perfect sense. And we should probably mention the scope here. I mean, it's a 13-track album with massive tracks like Coney Baje, Where I'm From, Yay, of course, Streets of Africa.
Devil in California, Calm Down. I mean, it's packed. And while those keep the energy high, Don Phondeaux also dissected the moments of intimacy, the subtle shifts.
Where does he start with that intimacy?
He points to Settle Down, the one with J-Hus. He calls it a slow, sultry groove for the sirens, for the late nights. Burna's charm is just front and center, calling for calm amidst all that desire.
And that vibe flows right into Get 'em.
Yes. Here, Burna shifts into, full seduction mode. Don Phondeaux says it's smooth, celebrating lust with the same focused passion he gives his ambition.
So it's a mirror, the same drive.
The exact same internal force.
Then the energy picks up again, but still on that theme of motion with Rock Your Body.
Yep. Don Phondeaux calls this wine and wine music, built for late nights. It's that moment of pure celebratory movement. He calls it a masterpiece of motion.
So we've got the affirmation, the home base, the hustle, the intimacy. It all seems to build toward the final track, which is the title track, Outside. After this whole journey, what happens when we get to the end?
The title track is the final reflection. It's this deep introspective meditation on the costs of that life, the loneliness, the survival, the scars you pick up along the way. After all the motion, all the hustle, this is the quiet reckoning.
And the production matches that feeling.
Totally. Don Phondeaux says the soundscape feels like waves rising and receding. It symbolizes the rhythm of life outside. The chaos of the party finally quiets down, and it's all about the internal processing. It's the perfect way to cap it off.
So pulling this all together, after revisiting the album from this new place of his, what's the core takeaway from Don Phondeaux's analysis?
I think the core message is that Outside is a genuine self-portrait of an artist in motion. It manages to be both vulnerable and vibrant at the same time. It's music for anyone chasing those big, complicated dreams while carrying the weight that comes with them.
And that philosophical piece is what really stays with him. He says the album teaches that the same streets that celebrate you can scar you, and yet survival itself, it can be beautiful.
Survival is the highest form of art, and that's why the album is now a sort of mandate for him. It's a reminder to stay moving, stay learning, and most importantly, to stay sound, to find that harmony inside, even when life outside gets loud.
It's about integrating the lessons of the bars into the motion of the vibe.
Perfectly said.
And that brings us to a final thought from Don Phondeaux, something for you to take with you from this deep dive.
What album in your own life reminds you that survival itself is a form of art? Just let that question sit with you for a bit. Think about the rhythms and reflections that keep you grounded no matter what.
Thank you for joining this Doncast Deep Dive into albums for the ages. We've reached the end of this deep dive, but the journey doesn't stop here. If this moved you in any way, like the video so the sound can travel further, and subscribe for more Doncast Deep Dives and stories from the Don's Domain.
And when you're ready to go deeper, visit the Don's Domain at donphondeaux.com for more playlists, reflections, and written journeys. And if you're stepping outside, don't forget to let your style smile for you with Estilo Phondeaux. Discover more at donphondeaux.com for estilo.
Enjoy loudly. Stay sound.